Well, you can start us off. We have a full quorum.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I will call this August 11th, 2020, next COVID installment ZDRB meeting to order, and we'll pass it on to staff for roll call.
Okay. Chair Zagorczyk?
Here.
Vice Chair Miller?
Here.
Member Cook?
Here.
Member Pina?
Here.
And Member Jordan?
Here.
All right, all members are present.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the pledge. So if you may stand and turn to your nearest flag, proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the
United
flag
States
of
of
the United
America,
States of America,
And to
and to
the
the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation,
under
God,
under God, indivisible,
Justice for all.
and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I would ask if anyone has anything to add to the agenda at this time.
Nope.
No.
Okay. If not, if someone would move to adopt the agenda as it's presented.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Seconded.
Seconded both by Lynn and Stephen. Double seconded. We will move to adopt the agenda as printed. Again, with the minutes from any previous meetings that were reported.
Sorry to interrupt, but for the adoption of the agenda, we will need a roll call vote.
Oh, sure. So we all need to adopt?
So, okay, Chair Zagorczyk? Oh, it's going to have to be by voice, unfortunately. Chair Zagorczyk? Do you adopt the agenda?
I do.
Vice Chair Miller?
Aye.
Member Cook? Member Cook?
Yes.
Member Pina?
Aye.
And Member Jordan?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
And with I believe with minutes for the previous meeting, I believe there were. So would move to adopt the minutes from previous meetings if provided.
In this case, there are no previous minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on. I don't know if we have members from the public who are participating, but I will open things up to public comment, not specifically on the agenda item, but broadly speaking. If there's anyone, don't know if we have anyone.
We haven't received any comments on items not on the agenda.
Okay. In that case, with no one else speaking up, I'll go ahead and close the public comment period, and we will move on to the first item at hand. Thank you. Over to staff, please.
Okay. And we haven't received no public comment on this item after, but we will continue to check the inbox and check again at the end of the staff report. So with that, I will give the staff report. Good afternoon, everyone. The one item for your review tonight is a master sign plan for the property at 6494 Washington Street, Handwritten Wines and Monte Cristi Panama Hats. Let me put up our share screen. Give me one moment. Okay. Can everyone see the PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So, as I said, the one item for review tonight is the master sign plan for 6494 Washington Street for the businesses Handwritten Wines and Monte Cristi Panama Hats. The applicant is seeking to install 3 wall-mounted signs and 1 two-sided parking directional sign. The signs proposed for Handwritten Wines include 1 large business identification sign that you can see here that will hang above the door under the north end gable of the building. It reads Handwritten Wines and measures 25 inches by 68 inches, and it uses a knuckle and clasp support system. It will consist of a steel back plate powder coated in ivory with raised black lettering spelling handwritten and black painted lettering spelling wines. A decorative red acrylic wax seal is set behind the lettering, and the edges of the signs are curled to simulate a scroll of paper. The second of handwritten signs will be a smaller welcome sign that is to be placed at eye level on the building facade to the left of the Handwritten Wines entrance. There's a picture of this later in the PowerPoint that I'll point out. And this is the central door of the building, and it'll be black lettering that is similar to the main sign. It measures 6.5 inches by 22 inches. The sign proposed for Monte Cristi Panama Hats is structurally the same as the handwritten sign. It will be placed above the door under the south end gable of the building, above the door and awning. The sign will have a steel back plate that is powder coated in ivory with a smaller bronze panel on top with letters cut out to reveal the business name. It also measures 25 inches by 68 inches. The final sign is a two-sided parking directional sign to be installed near the entrance to the parking lot. It will consist of a steel back plate powder coated in ivory with a bronze adhesive vinyl panel with letter cutouts reading Handwritten Wines and Monte Cristi Panama Hats parking. It measures 17 inches by 17 inches. So this item originally came before the board on March 10th. The board rejected the original application and identified several issues that required revision. This is the revised application. Specifically, the issues that the board identified were, number one, poor sign mounting position on the underside of the awning. Number two, confusion with sign placement in directing pedestrians to Handwritten Wines entrance, which, as I mentioned, is at the center of the building and not at the right-hand side. And number three was a lack of legibility of the sign at pedestrian level. And number four, similar to number three, was a small font size for the Handwritten Wines tagline. And all of these concerns have been addressed in this new application. The placement is different. They've removed the tagline, and other concerns have been addressed. You can see the welcome sign here that they would place at eye level. Moving on. The sign plan also continues to adhere to the municipal code requirements. The property is allowed a total of 30 square feet of signage. The total proposed signage in this application is 24.6 square feet. Additionally, the sign application meets all the required design criteria findings in the municipal code. And these are, number one, that colors for background signs must be selected from either an approved town palette, if adopted by the ZDRB, or from a palette used on other buildings on the same parcel. So in this case, the sign background is predominantly bronze or ivory, which is similar to the building color and also other signs around town. The letters are black, dark bronze or ivory, which coordinate well with other color palettes found on the property. And the overall naturalistic color scheme ties in well with the building's exposed woods. The Handwritten Wines wax seal, while bright red, incorporates a visual representation of the secondary retail element for handwritten and also adds distinctiveness to the sign that differentiates it from the Panama Hat sign. The next design criteria finding is that sign illumination shall not cause glare and light intrusion onto other signs, other premises, sidewalks, streets, or parking lots, and there is no illumination proposed for these signs. And lastly, the design criteria about internally illuminated signs that should not have dark backgrounds with the letters lighter. And again, this sign is not proposed to be illuminated, so that design criteria is met. One last item I will mention is that staff believes that the proposed parking directional sign should swap places with a current white notification sign that is placed at the southwest corner of the property. You can see this sign on the bottom left photograph of the current slide. This location will be more visible to both northbound and southbound drivers on Washington Street, while the white notification sign only contains information that needs to be visible from someone who's already turned into the parking lot. And we have included this as a specific condition of approval. And with that, I'll turn it over to the board for discussion.
Thank you very much. I will open it to the board for any questions of staff, starting with Member Cook. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. I do not have any questions of staff at this time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Member Pina, any questions of staff?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify, it's that the handwritten wine sign is on the north end of the gable of the building? Isn't it on the south end? So
The
I
south end, yes, that's correct.
have those two signs switched as far as location goes, is my
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I am directionally challenged.
Well, it says it, yeah, it says it in our notes as well. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Great attention to detail, Member Pina. Thank you very much. Nothing will escape you, and I'm sure the points of the compass will be noted much more carefully in time in the future. Moving on to Member Jordan. Any questions for staff?
Yeah, one question I have, I'm looking on, maybe the dimensions are right in front of me, but I'm not seeing them. What would the elevation of the parking directional sign be? The one in the picture, based on the pedestrian there, looks like it's at 6 feet or more. Is that what the staff recommends, same height?
Yes, staff has, I believe 6 feet is the recommended height for the parking sign.
Okay, okay. Thank you. I just wondered if that was a temporary sign, if that's where it should be placed.
I would just note that the white sign that you see is already existing.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Member Jordan. And Vice Chair Miller, any questions for staff?
Only the point of clarification that in the proposal, it refers to them as wall-mounted signs, and I believe that the two signs that are over the doors are mounted on the awning.
Correct, yes. The awning signs use a knuckle and clasp, so they're not directly mounted onto the wall. We say that just because you can't see the other side, whereas the two-sided parking directional, you can.
I see. Okay. Okay. I think they did a great job of reviewing what we had asked them to review and coming back with something that is much better.
Great, thank you, Vice Chair Cook, or sorry, Miller. On to me, I do have a question. The following. So I wasn't clear. So the diagram that shows the placement of the parking sign, is that is how it's being represented? Because you mentioned something about swapping, so I wasn't really clear what that meant.
Yeah, I don't know if you can view the PowerPoint or were able to see it, but there is a photo that shows two parking signs. One is white that is currently existing, and one is the proposed parking directional sign. And staff suggested that those simply swap places.
And I would add, the reason that we're making that suggestion is that the two-sided parking lot sign that is not visible to southbound traffic, given it's pushed back so far, and the trees at the frontage obscure it. If it is brought forward, it serves the purpose of gathering the attention of drivers on both sides of Washington. And the other is a sign that indicates such things as fire lane, no parking, and that's better given once you enter the driveway itself. And the signs are at the height they are so that they don't obscure vision of someone leaving the driveway. So it has to be up above eye level. We don't want to see a low monument in that location.
So the height of the two signs conforms to a broader recommendation. You're just swapping. So what we're seeing on the diagram, we just need to envision them swapped. So okay.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you. I'll pause there for the rest of the board. If anyone has any questions about that, in case that wasn't clear, and I may be the only one for whom that wasn't 100% clear. So if anyone has any questions on that specific detail, please chime in.
Oh, I'm good, but thank you for
Okay.
asking. Thank you for asking, though.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying. Sounds like there's no other questions. I will open it up. I'm not sure if the applicant or the architect is present to make comments, should they desire.
He is, and
Good
Over to
afternoon,
you,
Michael
Phil.
and other members of the board. Yeah, my name is Philip O'Connor. I am the director of Handwritten, and really appreciate your time and attention to this matter, and happy to answer any questions if you may have them.
I will open the floor for anyone who has questions of the applicant. Thank you for joining, and appreciate obviously the back and forth and the exploration. And I'll open it up for anyone on the board for questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Member Pena, please.
On the Monte Cristo sign, there's a sign, I believe it's still existing, that's right above the door. And it looks like it's there in the picture as well. I haven't got a real clear picture. Is that sign remaining also?
That sign would not remain. No, this would replace that. That is a temporary sign, and this would the awning mounted sign would replace that sign.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Pena. Any other questions from the board?
I would just like to say thank you for taking our comments into consideration. I think this is a vast improvement over the last presentation.
Thank you so much, and we really appreciate you know, the attention that you the comments that you had originally, and I think we're all really happy with the direction it took, and you know, in the end we have something that I think it will be better for everybody. So.
Thank you. I would echo Member Cook and Member Miller's comments earlier about the attention to detail and the dialogue that we hope to achieve here. And there are rules and regulations, but there's always working together to find the best solution, given that we've got a few extra heads working on it. So thank you for working with us, and happy that everybody feels seemingly that we are headed in the right direction and have something that works. I would, as we wrap this session up, is there anyone on the board who has any further questions or open commentary they would like to share?
Yeah, I don't have any questions, but I would like to say that this presentation is really thorough, and it was fun to read it. It answered so many questions, much like the steakhouse sign proposal last year. I like the fact that it's mounted above the awning instead of below. I was worried after I thought about it for a bit that the hanging sign, if it were approved, might shadow the light at the entrance some way, but this is great. It's up above and highly visible. So anyway, I just want to compliment you. It's a nice presentation.
Thank you, Member Jordan. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I echo that as well.
And thank you, Member Pena.
Thanks, everyone. And so I think that's a perfect, those encouraging words are a perfect segue to make a motion. Does anyone want to make a motion at this point to move forward?
I'd be happy to make a motion to move forward. I make a motion to approve the master sign plan review for the 3 new wall-mounted signs and 1 new 2-sided parking sign for Handwritten Wines and Monte Cristi Panama Hats at 6494 Washington Street, otherwise known as item 20-2646.
I second that motion.
Great. And to do the all in favor, we'll do it one at a time as we have in the past to log it. So we'll start with Member Cook.
I approve.
Member Jordan.
I approve.
Member Pena.
I approve.
Vice Chair Miller.
I approve.
And to close things out, likewise, I also approve. And with that, we have unanimous approval. Thank you, and back to staff.
Because that was the only item on the agenda tonight, you are free to move to adjourn.
Right. I will make a motion to adjourn the ZDRB meeting, August 11th, 2020. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
All right. I think we could do this one together. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Bye, everybody. It was short.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice-
Thank you all
Thanks,
so
everyone.
very much. Stay cool this weekend. It's going to be a scorcher.
All right. Thank you.